Yeah, let's play two. The Cubs already beating the Cardinals earlier today 7-4, and they will go for the split doubleheader sweep. It's the Cubs hosting the Cardinals, Game 3 of a 4-game, 3-day series. Great to have you with us, Jim DeShays and Len Casper. The Cubs got the bats going earlier this afternoon and beat the Cardinals for the first time in their last 6 tries against St. Louis.
Yeah, a rare breakout game for this offense that has really been scuffling lately over the last 2 weeks, just hitting .206. They'd only hit 4 home runs over that stretch, but got it going today. Chris North had a huge 2-out, 2-run single that kind of set the tone. Cubs banged out 12 hits. 4 or 5 different players had multi-hit games. Anthony Rizzo hit his first home run in a good long while. So the Cubs took advantage of the young left-hander, and there's another one going for St. Louis tonight, and hopefully they can jump on Mr. Cooney as well.
Yeah, Tim Cooney, a left-hander for St. Louis. It'll be sinker baller Dallas Beeler for the Cubs. We got a brief look at him last year. He's up for just this start as the 26th man.
Yeah, overall the numbers down in AAA not good, but he started the year on the DL, had an inflamed shoulder. He's bounced back, and over his last 5 starts has been pitching very nice baseball.
All right, the Cubs with a 3-game lead for the second wild card spot currently, and the Cardinals and Cubs, always fun when these two rivals get together. We'll have all the action coming up next on Comcast Sportsnet.
By your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T Uverse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT, mobilizing your world. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
Back here at the ballpark, cool temperatures, wind blowing in, but not nearly as hard as it was right around noontime when we started Game 1. So it kind of feels like a late spring evening, even though we're right in the heart of the summer. Now the Cardinals Southwest starting lineup that'll face right-hander Dallas Beeler. Tommy Pham will be in left. Matt Carpenter gets a start at second base. We'll tell you why he's not at third in a second. Peralta, Hayward, Molina in the middle, along with Mark Reynolds, who had a good Game 1 defensively and offensively. Xavier Scruggs, the first baseman. Peter Borges in center. Tim Cooney, the pitcher. And the sinker baller Dallas Beeler is ready to go. And a strike called on Tommy Pham. 26 years old, 6'5", 210. And if that delivery reminds you of Roy Halladay, that's by design.
Bad guy to emulate. Beeler, as I mentioned in our open, you saw the numbers, not pretty, but lately much, much better. 1.78 ERA over his last 5 starts.
Works quickly. 2 balls and a strike. He's from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Went to Oral Roberts University. 41st round pick by the Cubs in 2010. That's what he'd like to get all night if he can. Lazy ground balls at infielders. Russell makes the play.
Yeah, cutters, sinkers, curveball, split finger pitch. And one thing he's not going to do is blow it by you. At the bottom of the strike zone, move it in and out, keep it off the barrel. That's his MO. Pitch to contact, try to be efficient. As you see the arbiters, Angel Hernandez has the plate tonight. Hobart, Barrett, Woodring on the bases.
Now Matt Carpenter normally plays third. He's at second, making his first start at second since the 2013 World Series. Colton Wong left early in game 1. He had a head contusion. He went through the concussion protocol after the game. He passed it. He's just got a headache and out of the lineup here for game 2. So the good news is no concussion. Just not quite 100%.
He's made a couple of sparkling plays in this series. One last night and here this afternoon. A twisting diving play off the bat of Montero, and then head hits hard on the hard ground.
Splitters outside on Carpenter. And it's 2-2. Cardinals have won 8 of the first 11. The Cubs ended a 5-game losing streak to the Cardinals with that game 1 victory. Peralta next. Here it comes. It's a strike and a cutter. He got him.
Well, Carpenter's in a bit of a funk. Normally you don't see him take pitches like this for strike 3. But he did. He's out. And too quickly retired here by Beeler. That's Taylor Teagarden doing the catching. He came up the other day from AAA with David Ross going on the 7-day DL, concussion DL.
Strike 1. And the all-star Johnny Peralta.
Beeler and Teagarden would have worked together down at AAA. Always good for a young pitcher to have a familiar face behind the plate.
Absolutely. Strike 2. Shoulder problems early for Beeler. This is the first month and a half with right shoulder inflammation. And as you mentioned, got off to a very rough start. Much better as of late.
In a 5-game stretch I referred to, he has struck out 26, allowed just 2 walks over 25 and a third.
Beeler debuted last year, 6 innings, 1 unearned run in a 1-0 loss versus Washington. It was June the 28th, game 1 of a doubleheader. And then he lost 2-0 in Cincinnati on July 9th. So one thing that needs to change is his offense needs to help him a little bit. Bounce to the shortstop, Starlin Castro. And that's the inning. Good start for Beeler. Cubs got 7 in the first game. We'll hope to keep that train a-moving here in game 2. To hit, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to Make-A-Wish, Illinois. Dexter Fowler's had a good start to this series in the cleanup, or rather the 7th spot last night. Led off today, leading off again here tonight. Rizzo homered in game 1. Chris Bryant, Jorge Soler, Chris Denorfia had a big day early on. Starlin Castro, the shortstop. You see Teagarden and Dealer making their 2015 debuts with the Cubs, and Addison Russell in the lineup.
Check out the Cardinals defensively. Pham, Burgess, Hayward left center right. Cardinals made a sparkling play in the day game. Peralta, Carpenter in the middle. Scruggs at first. Molina back in there behind the plate. And the Lexus starting pitcher for the Cardinals is young left-hander Tim Cooney. He's 24 years of age, like Dallas Buehler, making his 3rd major league start. His previous 2 have come this year. See the totality of his major league work so far: 8 1/3 innings.
Two and one.
Like Dallas, he's not an overpowering guy. Fastball will go 88 to 90 miles an hour.
3rd round pick, 2012. Bounced right to Carpenter for the out. Cooney led the Pacific Coast League last year with 14 wins. Had a no-hitter into the 9th inning last year on May 29th against Iowa before Arismendi Alcantara broke it up with a base hit.
PCL All-Star this year, 6-4 with a .274 earned run average, and down in Memphis.
Anthony Rizzo, strike 1. Two hits, 2 walks, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. Make it a double in the opener. The RBIs came on a home run to the opposite way against the lefty, Randy Choate.
Choate, that drop down delivery. Rizzo did not yield a bit. Stayed right in there, drove it the other way. Into a pretty stiff breeze, too.
That clipped him. He's now been hit 18 times.
Well, this is a curveball that didn't do a whole lot. So that one ranks pretty low on the pain meter the various times he's been hit this year.
That's the new modern day single season club record. 18 hit by pitches. Chris Bryant, towering shot, center field. Borges, all kinds of time to get under it. Rizzo tagging, and he'll be safe at second.
Great base running by Rizzo. You see a ball hit that high, you know, if it doesn't fly out of here, somebody's going to be able to run under it, even though Borges had a long way to go. Smart tag and advance for Rizzo.
This with the NFL, that would have been a fair catch. Too much hang time.
Yeah, I'll kick the coverage.
Yeah, since 1900, the 18 hit by pitches are the most in a single season for a Cub player. We're just about halfway through the season. Marlon Byrd, Frank Chance, the other 2 Cubs to get hit 17 times in a season. He's on quite a pace.
Yeah. A long way to go to get the major league record there. Ron Hunt, I believe, still
50?
holds that 50 plus. Yeah, 50 or 50 and change.
Runner at second. 2 outs. Ball 1 to Soler. Took a bases loaded walk earlier today. 0 for 4, but did score a run.
Ron Hunt in the modern era got hit 50 times in 1971. Huey Jennings back in 1896 got hit 51 times. really a different game they were playing back in the day.
There it is. Almost hard foul past third. Ooh, that one might have hit Travis Wood. He didn't move. Chad Noble, bullpen catcher, enjoyed that.
Soler did not join the hit parade in game one, although he had some of the best at-bats of anybody on the club.
Line shot left field, caught by Fan. Yeah, it's been impressive since he's come off the DL. They'll start dropping for you at some point, Jorge.
Second, Dallas Beeler back out on the mound after a very nice first inning. Beeler from Tulsa, Oklahoma, grew up playing football as well as baseball, and his older brother Chase actually was an All-American center from Stanford. He also has a younger sister, Lacey, who's a stud athlete, and his dad, Daryl, coached them, both brothers, through Jenks High School. He's been coaching baseball and football for over a decade, so a family full of athletes that Dallas said has been very influential in his career. They understand him, they support him, and it's what drives him, guys, to make it to that next level, night in and night out.
Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, he was on a couple of state championship football teams at Jenks High School in suburban Tulsa. So, very good athlete.
The black sheep of the family was Ferris. He was just a goof-off.
Never went to class.
Yeah. He's looking to have a good time, working an angle.
3 balls, no strikes on Jason Hayward. He was locked in the opener, too. 2 for 4, 2 lineouts.
There's an aggressiveness about his approach in the batter's box that grabs your attention. I mean, he's always ready to hit. And the passing was at times maybe a little passive.
Another hard hit ball, and it gets past a diving Addison Russell. That's the first hit of the ball game.
Jason Hayward due to be a free agent at the end of the year, and like with every swing of the bat, you just hear the ching, the cash register go up as he continues to impress. Beeler ground ball specialist. Hayward can run a little bit. Molina slow-footed. All things point to a little run and hit maybe at some point in this sequence.
Game-winning sac fly in the 7th inning Monday night. First pitch swinging, hoisted into center. That's Dexter Fowler. 1 out.
Well, the fact that Dallas Beeler ever made it to the big leagues is pretty impressive, given that he was a 41st round pick. 1,239 players were selected before he was in 2010.
Yeah, there are 3 guys in that 41st round of that draft who have had any big league time. Chris Rierick, left-handed pitcher, and a guy sitting in the Cardinal bullpen, Seth Maness. Although I think Maness signed, he didn't. Taken by the Marlins in the 41st round. He didn't sign and ended up going in the 11th round the following year. Rierick was a 41st round pick of the Tampa Bay Rays. Well, the odds are not great. One and 2 on Reynolds. He cranked a 2-run homer in the 9th inning of the day game. Neil Ramirez, he got all of it.
Inner third fastball. That's what he does. To get the head out. Most of his home runs are to the pull side. All of them this year.
Another night game tomorrow, off day on Thursday, and then the White Sox come to the north side. Swing and a miss. Wheeler strikes out Reynolds.
Sharp breaking ball that time from Dallas.
Curveball at 78. Xavier Scruggs. Oh and 1. The inside corner. There's that big swing pitch in and at bat. 1 and 2 instead of 2 and 1.
That'll be a key pitch for Beeler here tonight. The ability to throw that fastball effectively inside will open up the outside corner for him.
He struck him out. Back-to-back Ks for Dallas Beeler. Still 0-0 early. Cincinnati high-speed action. Storms rolling in. Pirates hosting the Padres. Third inning, no score. Yeah, we've seen that before, and the Pirates players pitching in.
There you go.
Yep, it happens.
High winds really make that a hard job.
I recall the Phillies helping out the Rockies grounds crew years ago. One of those bad early April snowstorms or whatever. So they're still in a delay at PNC. Chris Denorfia takes a looping curveball up and away for ball one.
It seems like last year there was a lot of weather issues in baseball, but even more this year.
One ball, one strike. Denorfia had a big opener today. So the game I had mentioned earlier, the matchup tonight. This is a lonely bird out there.
He's on duck. He's in the on duck circle.
The pitching matchup I mentioned. You'd pay money to see Johnny Cueto and Max Scherzer, right? It's 5-0 Reds. Scherzer's already out of the game. He went 4 2/3. Cueto will outlast him tonight. Reds are 4-0 against the Nats this year. Three and 2 on Denorfia. Castro and Teagarden to follow. Somebody from the Cardinal dugout is feeding that feathered friend.
Ducky Medwick.
So Denorfia flies out. That'll bring up Castro. 0 for 16 on the homestand. Carlos Martinez. Carlos Martinez trying to earn maybe another All-Star vote.
It's part of the final ballot, right?
Yeah.
The last man.
I think that's illegal. You're not supposed to bribe anyone to vote for you.
You've never seen anything like that in Chicago.
No. Although I don't think the Duck has a working email address. That's Borges in center. Don't mind us. We've been here all day. We're just
a little punchy.
Entertaining ourselves. I think the Ducks go. Larry told me to be here at 7:30. And where is everybody?
Saw all these white birds down at the beach earlier. They said they're going to go hang out at Wrigley, and I get here and there's nobody here.
Taylor Teagarden in his Cubs debut. He's on the team because David Ross is on the 7-day concussion DL. Parts of 7 seasons in the majors, 172 games. We'll see what he did at Iowa. Rangers, Orioles, Mets. And now the Cubs.
Yeah, he hasn't had a lot of big league time, but he manages to get a little big league time about every year.
A little pop in that bat. Just over a full season's worth of games and 21 career home runs. Not a lot of pop on that particular swing. So the Cubs go down 1-2-3. 0-0 after 2 innings. Quack, quack.
CSN brings you all 16 playoff wins over 5 days. A championship journey presented by ChevyDriveChicago.com and your Chevy dealers. Begins Sunday night at 7. For schedule information, visit CSNChicago.com.
Duck down out of here.
Now what are we going to talk about?
Here's Beeler to Borges.
How about Dallas Beeler? He's off to a nice start here. Third major league start. The leadoff single to Hayward, but then boom, 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 3 in a row. A couple of punch outs to end the second.
Borges, born in nearby Park Ridge, Illinois. His parents are from Chicago. Moved the family to Arizona when Peter was a young child. His dad, Chris, an outfielder, played 13 games with the Giants in 1980.
This spot in the Cubs rotation is in a fluid situation. Wada pitched a rehab start yesterday. Clayton Richard came up, was signed, and pitched Saturday, threw the ball well. Beeler will go right back to Iowa after this start. A chance for him to make an impression on Joe Madden. Put his best foot forward as the Cubs contemplate the second half of the season.
Realize the Cubs have an all Dallas battery tonight. Dallas Beeler and Taylor Teagarden is from Dallas. Carrollton, Texas, where he went to high school. That's in the Dallas area. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 in a row now for Beeler. 4 on the night. Hey, Cub fans, let's go. Summer is in full swing. And no time like the present to plan for a game. Here at beautiful Wrigley Field, the Phillies, Rockies, Giants, and Brewers kick off the second half. Here in the friendly confines, don't wait until the last minute. Secure your seats at Cubs.com today. Coney, career .259 minor league hitter. And 1 for 2 in the big leagues. So he can swing it a little bit. High bouncer charged by Bryant. He'll get it.
They're setting an aggressive tone, getting quick outs. Got a big group of supporters here, Dallas. You know what they're called?
No, tell me.
The Dallas Beelers Club.
Matthew McConaughey anywhere around?
So bad.
You got a couple of good ones in there already. 1 strike on Pham.
I wonder how many people are here that were also at the first game.
Great question.
I don't even know why I'm finding out. Good pitch. Yeah, he's throwing his curveball for enough strikes where the hitters have to respect that, and that's what's going to allow him to fool hitters with the heater.
Beeler has been dealing early. 5 strikeouts to the first 10 hitters. doing it now? Yes. The battle for the Crosstown Cup. I have like 3 things to read here. Continues. No, that's not right either. Oh, yes, it is. 3:05 on Saturday. The first 10,000 fans get a mobile power bank presented by Starwood Preferred Guest. For details, visit Cubs.com. Dallas Beeler, deep left, and it's off the wall. Just missed a home run. He's 2 out of 5 in his major league career.
That's a good-looking swing right there. Talk about all the athletes in his family. Certainly not just a guy who could throw it, he could swing it. Into the vines for a leadoff double.
It's a good start. As we mentioned, the Cubs did not give him any runs of support in his 2 starts last year. Now the Cardinals will appeal that he missed first. And apparently he did not miss first.
Didn't execute the appeal properly the first time, so they did it again. And
he said
he didn't step off. He said that should be a balk. Thrown to an unoccupied base. He didn't step off the bag of the rubber. You can appeal if play isn't called dead. You can just throw the ball over and appeal. But once there's a dead ball, you have to put the ball back in play. You have to get on the mound, get on the rubber, come set, step off, and then throw to first base. Yeah, that was the first one where it wasn't done properly, and now and then he's going to do it again. Molina's telling him to get set. Because that's the one that Joe had the beef with, the second throw over. So now he comes set, steps up. No, he's okay.
Yeah, he did it.
He did it.
I just smoothed it in my live read. Pitch to Russell, misses low. And he did step on first, not very smoothly.
Yeah, but the far back corner of the base as he's watching the ball in the outfield.
We want to wish a happy first birthday to Rowan Young and Joe Stancato. Very happy birthday as well.
Rowan, man, he's rocking some teeth already.
Good looking young Cub fan right there. 2-1.
Southpaw.
People want to know what happened to the duck. The duck safely flew away. I won't speak for his whereabouts or her whereabouts at this point. Somebody on Twitter thought it was a female.
I don't know my duck colorings and markings. I was thinking a flyer calling it a duck to begin with.
Run Hayward over near the line. He makes the catch. Wheeler holding at second. There you go.
There he/she goes.
Appropriate today was a twin bill.
Good fair foul.
That joke courtesy Lisa Smith on the Twitter. Twin bill line. A lot of good duck puns. Duck was in foul territory. FOWL. There's Dexter Fowler. 1 strike. Low, 1-1.
Not seen a lot of left-handed pitching. Dexter Fowler, the switch hitter, has been better from this side of the plate in his career, and a lot better this year.
Three and one.
It's kind of weird how that works. A switch hitter can be, even guys who are somewhat neutral in that their numbers are similar from both sides of the plate, but they can have it going on from one side and really be struggling from the other.
Well, they've got Beeler caught. This is going to be a wash. Fowler ends up at second. Actually, it ended up better for the Cubs.
That's a win, yeah.
Yep.
That's a win. And we talked earlier about the athleticism of Beeler. It was a mistake by breaking, but he made a nice play staying in the rundown, allowing Fowler to replace him there at second base. Way to play the game, Dallas.
Strike on Rizzo. Hit by a pitch for the 18th time in the first inning. Before the game, the Anthony Rizzo Family Foundation handing out a check for a lot of money for a great cause. He does a lot of great work. There's parents with him here in the Chicago community. To see Kelsey Eibach out here at the ballpark tonight. She and her boyfriend attending her first Cubs game since an accident last September left her paralyzed from the waist down. She's in a wheelchair. Huge Cub fan. Very excited about being at the ballpark tonight. 3-1 to Rizzo.
Cody tried to paint the previous pitch, tried to paint the outside corner with a fastball. It's a good looking pitch, didn't get the call. Right now there's just nowhere he can go comfortably against Rizzo.
Not hold up. 3-2. That had the look of, I think I'm getting it. Oh no, I'm not getting the fastball.
Just got a little greedy there on 3-1, but he knows he's got one to play with. You see him, quite often chase 2-0, 3-1, but then settle back in.
Lifted to center. Borges went in a step, now back and over to his right. He's got it, and the inning is over. Cubs waste the leadoff double from the pitcher, and we're still 0-0 at the end of 3.
Your Cubbies play in Los Angeles. You can register at your local sports authority for your chance to win tickets for the game, airfare, accommodations, a player meet and greet, and much more. Sounds like quite a deal. Brought to you by Sports Authority, the official sporting goods retailer of your Chicago Cubs. Sweepstakes ends July 13th, so be sure to see your store for official rules very soon. Well, last night we saw John Lester pick up his first career hit off former teammate John Lackey. And, guys, he was pretty mum after the game about it. Didn't want to say a whole lot because, well, his Cubs didn't get the win. But his former teammate, not so mum, said, yes, we were doing some trash talking during the week, so I'm going to sign the ball and be sure to put "but you lost" on it as well. So he still knows how to push his teammates' buttons. And, of course, David Ross telling me earlier that day that they're two of the biggest competitors he has ever gotten the chance to play with. So loved getting to see Lester get that hit last night.
Yeah, how about John Lester and John Lackey in the same rotation? So two very intense guys. Matt Carpenter deposits one into right, and he thought about trying to test Soler and decided not to in the end.
Yeah, discretion, the better part of valor there, but that's good base running to push it, take a hard turn, be positioned to take advantage if there's any kind of a mishandle out there by Soler. So the second hit of the game for the Cardinals. Second time it's been the leadoff man. In the second it was the Hayward, and now Carpenter here in the fourth.
Carpenter fake towards second as Peralta looks at ball one. Tomorrow night, Michael Wacha, the All-Star, 10-game winner against Jason Hamill. He's got a 2.89 ERA. We'll have it for you right here on CSN. We'll have an Ask Len and JD on Facebook segment tomorrow. Three and two.
He just swung right through what appeared to be a pretty hittable fastball on 3-1.
We'll get one, but not two.
Backed up to get a more convenient hop, and that allowed Peralta the time to get down the line and beat the double play. Good turn by Russell.
Yeah, got off the bag quickly as Carpenter was bearing down on him.
Second baseman, it's important for them to be unpredictable out there at second base. Step back behind the bag, use the bag to protect you sometimes come all the way through the bag. You want to do the same thing every time.
Hooked into right by Hayward. He's 2 for 2. Got 4 hits today combined.
A lot of early swings from him too. Carpenter tries to take a piece of him, can't find him.
He has really taken to that position.
Like a duck to water.
It's Molina. Well, we have our theme for the night. An all-star for the 7th consecutive year. Wheeler misses outside ball one. He got Molina on a fly to center.
Molina attacked that first pitch last time, and what just transpired there is very frustrating for a pitcher because Molina, halfway through the delivery, you could tell he was just in take mode. He was going to take one, and Beeler missed. Usually Molina tries to shoot the ball the other way, especially with men on base. But every now and then he'll try to ambush and turn on one.
Scoreless tie, fourth inning, 2 on for the Cards. Only 1 out. Make it bases loaded. 1 out. First walk issued by Beeler. Here comes the pitching coach.
Popped up in a hurry, didn't it? One base runner prior to this inning, was going along nicely, had command of all of his pitches. And just like that, he finds himself in a precarious situation, bases loaded. Mark Reynolds coming up to hit, and Reynolds, a very dangerous hitter.
AT&T U-verse multi-view. Peralta at third, Hayward at second, Molina at first.
Would you say ducks on the pond?
You could. And I suppose we should tonight.
Talked about Reynolds and his power, how he likes to pull the fastball. Maybe Beeler can get him to roll over on either a cutter or curveball away. Get a ground ball, get 2, and get out of Dodge. Good start. Get the jump on the hitter without giving into the strike zone. Paint the corner. Borderline pitch, sometimes a strike, sometimes a ball tonight. Ugly hack at the sinker, wasn't ready to hit.
One and 2 on Reynolds. Here it comes. He fouled it.
I like this pairing with Teagarden back there. We talked about it earlier, the fact that these guys have been together down in AAA. Now, Montero, the veteran. Teagarden is a veteran. He's been around, kind of a journeyman, but I'm sure Montero knows this Cardinal lineup a little bit better than Taylor does. But Teagarden obviously knows Beeler better. I think that's more important.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, good to miss his bat. He's a fly ball hitter, even though Beeler a ground ball pitcher. Just a key strikeout.
Beautiful work, east and west at the bottom of the zone. You're going to see it there on our Honda pitch tracks. You see the work down and away, and then a couple inside. Good sinker under the hands. Great execution.
Not out of it just yet. Scruggs.
Let up.
0-1. Two hits and a walk setting up this inning for St. Louis. And Beeler trying to escape. Time called.
And just to finish the point on the battery mate situation, the other thing too, when you got a veteran catcher like Montero who's been in the league a long time, and a young pitcher out there, the tendency for the pitcher is just to follow along, and sometimes it's important for the pitcher to impose his will. You know what you do best. That's hard sometimes for a young guy with a veteran catcher you don't have a relationship with yet. One of the things that really impresses me about Kyle Hendricks, even though he hasn't been in the league a long time, he knows what he wants to do, and he's willing to shake the veteran catchers to get there.
Bounce to Bryant, now taken right to the bag. He beats Hayward there, and the inning comes to an end. So Beeler works out of the bases loaded, one-out jam, and we remain 0-0 in the fourth.
This Sunday, it takes place this weekend, as a matter of fact. On Sunday, first pitch is at 1:20. First 5,000 kids at the ballpark will receive a Color Your Own Cubs insulated lunch bag presented by Vienna Beef. After the ball game, the first 1,000 kids 13 and younger with appropriate wristbands will be allowed on the field to run the bases, weather permitting. For more information, visit Cubs.com. Speaking of across town, happy birthday, Bill Melton. Melton Bill, 70 years old today.
Happy birthday, Bill. Paulo Orlando with a game-ending grand slam earlier today. Day-night doubleheader in Kansas City. Royals beat the Rays 9-5. Bryant in the air and out of play. Wind helping him there.
Hit that high towering drive to center field last time up. For me, when he starts to elevate like that, that's a good. Most hitters will say that's not good, but for me, he's getting closer. I mean, it's not that he hasn't been good, but he's getting through it a little better. Staying through the zone a little longer as opposed to that, top spin.
Outside 2-1. The home run derby participants yet, have they?
Not that I'm aware of.
He has said he's interested. I would have a feeling he's going to hit a bunch of them in Cincinnati should he be named to the National League squad. I don't even have to swing hard in that ballpark.
Doesn't expand very much. Every now and then you'll get him to chase up and in. And that pitch not close enough to get him to bite.
Reynolds to Scruggs. Soler lined the left in the first. And cleanup.
Bunch of hard outs here. This is coming off the DL. He's doing a little good fortune, a little off the end of the bat or jam shot base hit.
One and two. Assuming Tim Cooney is not related to Jerry Cooney,
the fighter.
Yeah. Classic bout with Larry Holmes, 1982. Back when boxing was really popular.
Chuck Wepner, the Bayonne bleeder.
Swing and a miss, strike three. It was the first strikeout for Tim Cooney.
Soft stuff, a lot of change-ups, curveballs in that sequence of Soler. You saw Molina really working hard, not just calling the pitch, but being very emphatic as to where he wanted those pitches, off the plate and down.
Norfia flying to right in the second. Starting both ends of the doubleheader against his left-handed starters. Coming into the day, Cubs batters had just 537 plate appearances against lefties, by far the fewest in the majors. Dropped by Carpenter, but he had time to recover. Cubs go down in order. Not much happening for them offensively tonight. Through four. Season long on Comcast Sportsnet, brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. Cubs a winner in game one today, 3-8 against the Cardinals. Joe Madden was pretty good as always after game one. He had a fun movie quote, didn't he? There's a bunt that rolls foul. As Borges tried to find his way on. With all due respect, is that what it was? Can you hear me now?
Yes. Is this thing on? Yeah. Sorry.
Yes. What was the with all due respect line?
Right? I believe it was a Ricky Bobby shake and bake from Talladega Nights, and I got to give man props. He's pretty good at movie references. Like he remembers. He's got encyclopedic knowledge of Will Ferrell. Celebrates his entire catalog.
JD's pretty good too.
I'm not deep in the Will Ferrell catalog, but.
Missed outside. We saw Clayton Richard the other night. As JD mentioned, Tsuyoshi Wada on the DL. Beeler, here's the 26th man. Keep talking over and over again about the Cubs possibly looking for a starting pitcher. Would it be possible that they would be in the market for a position player?
Yeah, I think without a doubt. I think they've been pretty upfront about that. Just in terms of, I think, JD, there's lots of ways to upgrade this team, and when you're in a wild card fight where it could come down to one game, certainly, even if it's a situational bench player, I know that's an area Joe Madden would like to upgrade because he does like to mix and match, and you can find different ways to improve this team. Yeah. That's their job.
And wouldn't it blow you away if the Cubs pulled off a major deal for a big-time bat with an idea of not just this year but the future? Because that's one thing nobody's talking about. And that's the nature of the trade deadline. For the most part, you talk about smaller pieces to help you, improve incrementally, especially when you're battling for that wild card spot. Not that you concede the division to the Cardinals, but you don't want to pay a hefty price in terms of prospects for a rental player for potential one-game play-in.
To face Jarrett Cole.
Yeah. So by not dealing your best pieces, the kind of guy you're getting is a bat off the bench or a fifth starter type guy. But being the outside-the-box guys that they are, Theo and Jed, who knows, right? What could be percolating behind the scenes.
I think these next couple of weeks will shake out some of these buyers and sellers. There are a lot of teams kind of on a bubble there, teams that went for it and don't want to concede quite yet.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? There's so few potential sellers. There's so many teams that see themselves as still having a fighting chance, and they do. When you look at the standings, they do.
Which is kind of ironic because it looks to me, like the Cubs are in a very good spot. But we do have to consider Arizona, 2 games under, Atlanta, 41 and 42. Those are teams they still believe they're in it.
Yeah. So they're whether they actually make a legitimate run or not remains to be seen. But it's tougher to pry away some of their players.
We'll go 3-1. I think the other part of it with a bench bat is the Kyle Schwarber factor. It's probably only for the final month, but you would think he would be here at the very latest when the AAA season ends. He doesn't even have to catch, doesn't have to play a lot in the field, but just to be able to give you a good bat off the bench, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's played the outfield, and Theo, dropped that in. There becomes a point this year where he can't catch anymore anyways, that he's learned enough, he's logged enough innings, and physically doesn't make sense. So, yeah, he's definitely could be an answer.
Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider. Enjoy the rest of the ballgame. Patrick, thanks for stopping by. No score from Wrigley Field. Of the fifth. 4 hits combined. The Cardinals with the best opportunity. Bases loaded, 1 out in the 4th inning. The Dallas Beeler escaped. Now Castro to lead it off. Called strike.
Both these pitchers have been impressive tonight. Not overpowering, but strike throwers. That's the spot there. Molina setting up way off that outside corner. Molina just inching further and further away. Cooney throws the ball over the inner third.
Cooney delivers on a 1-2, and the curveball bounces. Still under a delay in Pittsburgh. Scoreless. Padres Pirates 3rd inning. Marlins and Red Sox getting their series underway. 3-1 Miami in the bottom of the 7th, with the Red Sox threatening. Cleveland has just added a run to its lead at home, 2-0 over Houston in the bottom of the 6th. Giovanni Gallardo, he's got a long scoreless streak working. Arizona and Texas are scoreless as they go to the bottom. They're in the top of the 5th, I should say. So Gallardo adding 4 innings to his streak. 33 1/3 scoreless. Longest streak this year. Line shot. It'll get down. It'll get to the barrier. And it'll send Castro to second. That's a leadoff 2-base hit.
They failed to cash in a leadoff double in the 3rd. And here's their second go at it. Lengthy at bat for Castro, and he wins the battle. A lot of soft stuff away, and this changeup drifts back over the plate. Molina wants that one to fade down and away. It's down, but on the plate.
That is his first hit on the homestand. 1 for 18 now, and it could be a big one as the Cubs try to grab a lead here in the 5th inning.
Gallardo back home. He grew up in the Dallas area. Having a very nice year.
Right field, it'll score Castro. 1-0 Cubs. Taylor Teagarden with his first hit as a Cub. And it gives them the edge here in the 5th.
Nice swing of the bat here by Teagarden, trying to guide that ball the other way, and he does with some bit of authority. So not only does he hit it to the right side, but he hits it hard on a line, gets himself an RBI single. Great approach with the man on second base.
Double single, 1-0. Now Beeler in a bunting spot, although he doubled his first time up, already squaring.
Jones calling Dallas Beeler down for a little conversation. Joe likes to roll the dice sometimes, well, more times than not. Would rather have his pitcher swing than bunt.
Almost ready to charge, and Beeler swings away and hits it about 15 feet back to the plate.
The right-handed pitcher on the mound would like to play a little bunt and run or hit and run in this situation, but with the lefty on the mound, Teagard's not going to get a good jump. And if you get a swing and miss, it'll be an easy caught stealing from Molina.
One and two. Job to hang in there.
Reynolds less aggressive now. Might be the time to try to bunt with 2 strikes. Matheny calls for a throw over to see if Beeler's willing to tip his hand there.
And that time on the curveball. Threw him 3 straight curves to end the sequence. We'll bring up Addison Russell. Did not play in the opener today. Jonathan Herrera. Castro led off the inning with a double. Teagarden drove him in with a single to right. Beeler struck out looking. And now the 1-0 to Russell. Fly ball left field. And a little slip there, and coming way in to make the grab is Pham for the out. Mr. Fowler's been on base 5 times in the series. Here's the pitch. Fouled back. Mentioned the Braves hanging around the wild card race, trying to get back to 500, leading at Milwaukee 2-1. They're in the top of the 5th. Brewers had their 8-game winning streak come to an end last night. A.J. Przinsky had 4 hits for the Braves Monday night.
Just keeps on going, doesn't he? Przinsky?
Yep. And he's 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Got a home run tonight. Hitting .287 on the year. The Braves lineup tonight, we'll see them right after the break. Peterson, Maben, Markakis, Johnson, Uribe, Przinsky, Siriaco, Perez, Benuelos. A little different looking Braves team than the one we're used to seeing. Right? No Freeman, no Simmons, no Johnson. Well, there's Kelly Johnson, but not Chris tonight.
Trying to trade Chris Johnson pretty hard. You believe everything you read.
Do you believe everything you read?
No. No, but I'm open to new ideas.
Twins all over the Orioles, 5-0. Bottom of the 4th. Target Field. Miguel Sano in his first career home run. Called strike 3. Fowler is out. Cubs done in the 5th. But they do take the lead on the Teagarden RBI single. It's 1-0.
The Chicago Cubs baseball summer camps presented by ATI Physical Therapy are in session now. There's still time to give your kids the official Cubs baseball experience this summer. Week-long sessions are still available in Palatine, Naperville, and Evanston. Sign up at cubs.com/kids.
Well, the Cubs have already gotten 5 shutout innings from the rookie Beeler, who is the pitcher of record, could get his first major league win. We've got a long way to go. There is double barrel action in the Cubs bullpen. It's Grimm and Russell with Lester Strode watching. 1 ball, 1 strike on Carpenter. Here it is. 2-1.
Because the starting pitching has been so good for a good while now, the bullpen has not had to carry that much of the load. The bullpen has been outstanding as well, but they have not been overworked. Jake
Arrieta went 6 2/3 earlier today. to get his team leading 9th victory. 9-5 on the year. He beat Tyler Lyons. That's a leadoff walk to Carpenter.
That might be enough for Joe to make a move.
I think the leash will be very long.
Managers don't make decisions based on, well, he's been good, he deserves to stay in the game. It's when you're in a one-run game, moving toward the later stages of the game, it's one of my best chances of getting outs.
Peralta breaks his bat. The bat's fair, but the ball is foul.
We talked about Dallas at the start of the ball game. We talked about him being a pitch to contact guy, a guy who doesn't strike out many, but he has punched out 6 here tonight.
Short lead by Carpenter. Peralta sends it to deep right. Over the head of Soler. It's going to one-hop the wall. Carpenter to third. Peralta's going to be held to a single. So the Cardinals have him at the corners with nobody out. I don't know how that didn't end up a double for Peralta.
Yeah, he wasn't even in position to take a shot at it. He must have got caught watching the ball as he went down the first baseline.
Oh, yeah.
He was just jogging. I don't know if he assumed it was going to be caught.
That's got to be a two-base hit. So keep the double play in order. The tying run, however, is at third with nobody out, and that's going to be it for the starter. So it's a Weber sauces and seasonings call to the pen. Why grill with anything else? Nice hand for Dallas Beeler. So here's James Russell. A really good pitcher this year in stranding inherited runners. Well, if he could strand these two guys, that would be something because there are no outs.
Dallas Beeler with a chance at his first major league win, but a precarious situation now. First and third, nobody out, and Russell will face Jason Hayward, who's really been swinging it well. Hayward has handled left-handers this year. He's kind of like Anthony Rizzo in that he's more than willing and able to go the other way.
So he has come on with 19 runners on base. Only one has scored so far this season.
He got a huge out in the afternoon game, a strikeout of Matt Carpenter with a couple of men on base.
This could be 2. It will only be 1. And as a result, Hayward will get an RBI to tie the ball game 1-1.
Peralta had run hard out of the box. He just want to recreate the inning. He's standing on third base right now. The ball got in on Russell a little bit, upset the timing of that play some, and Hayward runs well.
That will be it for Russell. Now Justin Grimm. Weber's sauces and seasonings called to the pen. We'll be back in the 6th. For 90-minute guided tours, it include a chance to step on the field. This must-see Chicago attraction houses over 100 years of history. For more information, it's Cubs.com/tours. Here's Justin Grimm.
Big strikeout numbers for Grimm. 34 Ks, 21 innings. Absolutely have to keep an eye on Hayward.
No pitch. Angel Hernandez had signaled time. Or he saw an old friend out in the bleachers and wanted to wave. So no count. This kind of feels like a late September night in the pennant race, doesn't it, with the weather? Temps already in the mid to upper 50s, 58 at game time.
Yeah, a famous quote attributed to Mark Twain, but I don't think Mark Twain said it. Coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in San Francisco, and that's what today has felt like. Some of those summer days in San Fran, especially out of Candlestick.
Which is either totally or at least partially demolished. I saw a picture the other day.
That's right.
Maybe a little sad. Molina could not hold. 1-2. That was an easy call for Pat Holberg.
You're going to get a lot of swings and misses with this combination that Grimm has. And we talked about Beeler being a pitch to contact guy. Grimm's a swing and miss guy. Mid-90s heater, power curveball.
Gets away. Hayward makes second.
That comes with it. That's part of the deal. That sharp curveball down in the dirt, tough to contain. And you're going to give up the base every now and then with a ball in the dirt.
Just got under that right arm. Go ahead run now at second. Dangerous hitter in this spot. Molina, as he loves to do, thinking opposite field.
And with that, you would think they would try to crowd him a little bit more with fastballs, but he's pretty adept at getting his hands pulled in and hitting that inside fastball the other way.
Three and two. Reynolds on deck. Payoff pitch to Molina. On the ground to Bryant. Hayward back to second. 2 outs. One ball, no strikes. Here comes 1-1. Another wild one. Bounced way in front of the plate.
Garden doing his best to try to knock that ball down, but that's a tough pitch to handle. You call it the breaking ball and you anticipate it down in the dirt, but even with that, it can be difficult to knock it down. Obviously cannot afford one more of those.
Two and two. In this spot, you get 2 freebies. That's it.
Yeah, with that, you would think Reynolds might be sitting on a heater there after a couple of bounced breaking balls for wild pitches, but pretty passive on that 2-1 fastball.
Getting into it with 2 strikes. Grimm to the plate. It's full. Xavier Scruggs awaits on deck. Cardinals have tied it here in the 6th. The pitch pulled toward the hole. Knocked down by Castro. It's a hit for Reynolds. Hayward scores, and it's now 2-1 St. Louis. So now all of a sudden, Dallas Beeler would be on the hook for the loss. With these runs charged to him.
Good pitch by Grimm. Breaking ball. You see where it's placed right there at the knees on the outside corner. Even if Starlin gloves that one cleanly, he's not going to throw Reynolds out from short left field on a ball like that.
You may wonder, well, Russell was in the game when Hayward hit the fielder's choice, but because transference, essentially Hayward replaced Peralta, so that's why that run will be charged to the starter Beeler. Two strikes to Scruggs.
Patient approach of Carpenter got it started for the Cardinals here in the 6th. He worked the leadoff walk.
And a shot, safe. Reynolds spraying too far off the bag, and he nearly paid for it.
We saw Hayward advance a couple times on balls in the dirt, so base runners are going to be savvy to that with Grimm and that curveball. They're going to look for any opportunity they get to advance. Reynolds took a couple extra steps before deciding to scramble back to first.
He scrambled, he almost got poached. 2-2. Strike 3, and the inning is over, but the Cardinals do take the lead with a couple of runs. It's 2-1 in the 6th. To catch the best matchups in baseball, reserve your place in line for history in the making. Join the season ticket holder waiting list. It's easy and free to register. For details, visit Cubs.com/waitlist. Tim Cooney now has a chance for his first major league victory.
Both these young starters have pitched well here tonight. Mike Matheny ready to react as Joe Madden was. Cubs get a little something going. He's got a right-hander warming in the pen.
Popped up by Rizzo. Will there be room for Reynolds? No. Scott Randy chokes. Seth Maness.
Sinker baller. He may go to Maness here, even if Cooney gets Rizzo, with Bryant coming up next.
Things get a little touchy sometimes for starters at third time through. Rizzo sends it to deep left, but a little slip and a catch. Okay, Pham's had some issues out there with his footing. I'm sure a little panic set in there at the very end, but he was able to make the grab.
Backpedaling, and as he plants that back foot, it slips out from underneath him. We almost had a Gregory Polanco moment there. Good concentration, though, by Pham to hang in and make the play. Molina out to the mound, perhaps to buy a little more time for Maness. Maybe just to go over the approach with Bryant.
So remember that game you said you'd pay to see?
Oh, yeah, what is it now?
The final score, 5-0 Reds. Johnny Cueto with a complete game 2-hit shutout. He struck out 11. So in the end, you would have gotten your money's worth. Although you were there to see Max Scherzer. Did not go so well for him. 4 2/3, 5 runs on 7 hits.
Joey Votto had a big day.
He did. He hit a home run. He went 3 for 5 and knocked in 3. And the Reds have gone unbeaten against the Nationals this season. One and one. Two and one.
Hard in to likely set up soft away. Like to go to that changeup down and away. Through it a little bit.
Ball 4. Cooney's first free pass. He did hit Rizzo in the first. And that will be it.
Maness time. Of a switch coming for the Cardinals. Cosma coming into the ball game. His first action in the doubleheader.
So Cosma's going to go to second. Reynolds is going to go to first. Carpenter will go to third. All kinds of changes. Weber Sauces and Seasonings call to the pen. We'll sort it out when we return. second to third. Hosmer now in playing second as part of the double switch. Reynolds from third to first. Scruggs out of the game. He made the final out of the top of this inning, so that's where Manus will go.
Manus has faced 133 batters this year. He's walked 2. That's pretty impressive. He's up a fair number of hits. Usually not a lot of extra base hits. He throws a lot of sinkers. A ground ball machine.
Bryant goes. Soler swings and fouls. And attempted hit and run. 1-1. Hey, we want to wish our colleague Skip Ellison, Fillmore, and his lovely wife Lori happy 25th anniversary. You're enjoying a trip to Montreal.
That's right. Yes.
They're having a great time.
Probably having a little poutine.
Chop to third. Carpenter just made the switch from second to third and makes a nice play. Tying run at second with 2 outs.
Denorfia will be called back and Coughlin will take the at bat. This will keep his games played streak alive. What's he up to now?
Over 140 now. I'll tell you right now, 147 and counting. Pretty amazing, isn't it? The longest current games played streak in baseball is not even as long as a full season. Strike 1.
That is pretty remarkable. And I think it makes a lot of sense. A lot of value in the occasional day off.
Missed the inside corner. Manus thought it was a strike. It's 1-1. The outside that time. In, out, in. 3-1. Castro next. If Coughlin gets on.
That wind blowing in, the Cardinals have shortened up anyway on the offside, but in left and center fairly shallow for Coughlin.
Scored in the bottom of the 5th. Cardinals got 2 to answer back in the top of this 6th. Coughlin went. Angel Hernandez made the call, and Chris saying, why don't you at least appeal? And Tom Woodring has a better look at it than you do. So that's it for the Cubs in the 6th. They strand a man at second. We go to the 7th, 2-1 St. Louis.
Seventh, we'd like to welcome all of our viewers watching on New Paris Quality Cablevision in New Paris, Indiana. Time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag Northside DataStrong Fan, and you might just see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
Stays in and plays left. It's Travis Wood.
Went on for the 23rd time. 4-3, 4.71 the ERA. 8.91 due up here for the Cardinals. Borges 8.9 is Cosma, who came in the double switch. And then Pham, the leadoff hitter.
Thomas Ian Nicholas played Henry Rowengartner in Rookie of the Year way back in 1993. They'll be back to sing the stretch once again. That is a strike. It's 0-2 to Borges.
Travis's first appearance in this series. He worked once in the set against the Marlins.
Foul tip, strike 3. Here comes Pete Cosma. Cardinals here in the 7th. A big crowd here for game 2. 35,703 and 34,368 earlier this afternoon for the makeup game. Feathered in the air, Russell out in, he will not get it. It's a blue single for Cosmo.
Just didn't hang up long enough for Russell to run under it. Takes a quick peek, finds Soler, realizes that he's the only option, just ran out of time. Long way to go, short time to get there.
Jerry Reed. Play chance here. Pham takes ball one. Two 2-1 Cardinals. Close one late. One and one. And 1 for 3 with a walk and was picked off in the opener today. He's 0 for 3 in this one. Cutter in. So Dallas Beeler tonight, 86 pitches over his 5 innings, charged with 2 runs, both scored after he left the game. Tim Cooney 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run. As JD mentioned, both guys making just their 3rd major league start, both looking for their first major league win. Cooney the only guy who could get that.
Beeler looked good tonight. Curveball was good. Fastball command for the most part on point. Leadoff walk to Carpenter in the 6th really hurt him. But Carpenter does that to a lot of guys.
There goes the runner Cosma. It's ball 4, so he can pull up at second.
Last time Travis Wood saw the Cardinals, things did not go well. That was on the recent road trip. 2 2/3 allowed 4 hits, 4 walks, 4 runs.
Mets and the Giants starting in about 5 minutes. Bartolo Colon and Matt Cain in that one. The Mets a 3-0 win last night. So that's back-to-back shutout wins for the Mets. The Giants go into tonight's game having lost 7 straight. And they're back to 500. And here comes Chris Bosio. So while the Cubs have gone 3-8 against the division-leading Cardinals, sure helps to have gone 7-0 against the team directly behind you in the wild card race, the Mets.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Giants, you mentioned them, they've been able to beat the Dodgers, but struggles against the other clubs in that division. Been a very streaky team.
Giants are 9-3 versus the Dodgers. 3-7 against Arizona. 5-7 versus the Rockies. Carpenter lifts one in the air out in the deep left. Should be no problem though for Coghlan. Runners will stay where they are. Two outs. Now Peralta.
Aggressive hack there by Peralta. Single to the wall and right last time up. Should have had 2 bases. Just didn't go hard out of the box. The what-if game perhaps cost the Cardinals a run.
ground ball, diving stop. Bryant up with it, throws to second. Russell covering, inning over, stretch time.
Tonight's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, actor Thomas Ian Nicholas.
All right, Cubs fans, let me hear you now. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the park. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the Cubbies. They don't win, it's a shame, 'cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old game. Let's get some runs.
Seth Maness got the final 2 outs of the 6th. Working here in the 7th, Starlin Castro to lead it off. He started the 5th with a double and scored the Cubs' lone run. Ooh, got a hanger there. It's an awkward landing.
A little hammy grab. Maybe just a little temporary lockup. I'm always worried about strained muscles in a doubleheader. Play a full game, you have all the warm-up time before, play a full game, then you have a lot of downtime in between before coming back out.
Keep saying he's all right, but okay, now he's all right. Yeah,
Charlie horse or something.
Yep, just not quite right. Two and one. Three balls and a strike. Peralta. That's Castro moving down the line all right. After that little tweak of his right leg. Miguel Montero now for Teagarden. Knocked in the Cubs run. That was Castro in the 5th. Red Sox came back and beat the Marlins tonight at Fenway, 4-3. Xander Bogaerts with a 3-run single. That was a game winner in the bottom of the 7th. It was off Carter Capps.
Very intriguing situation over there in the AL East. It's 2.5 games separating the top 4 clubs. Coming into play today, the Yankees, Baltimore, Tampa, and Toronto, and then Boston 6 back, but playing some of their best baseball of the year here lately.
Ball 4.
Baxter was out on deck. He's been called back.
Okay, so trying to figure out how Xander Bogaerts had a 3-run single. It was a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. That makes sense. Mookie Betts was the runner moving from first. Came all the way around to score. Here's Herrera.
Still confusion in the dugout. I'm not sure he knew he was going to take this at bat.
It's not his helmet.
Yeah.
Baxter's helmet.
I think he was thinking he was going to be the right-handed option. So he had his other helmet and then just grabbed Baxter to take this left-handed at bat.
Terrell back.
Joe probably figuring with Maness, the sinker baller out there, maybe there was a better chance of a double play with Baxter as opposed to Herrera. And Johnny
He's asking,
waiting, got my helmet yet?
That's got to be uncomfortable. Ball 1.
A little pitch out there. And Maness with good enough control that you can't rule out the 1-0 pitch out. Almost never see it.
Boy just ran down into the dugout to locate his helmet.
He's clearly distracted.
Here it comes. 2-1.
The funny thing is Herrera up there with the helmet that doesn't fit. He looks like the big kid in Little League when there's only so many helmets for the whole team, and the big guy in Little League has a helmet that doesn't really fit. But Herrera's like the smallest guy on the team. And now here we go. Good things are going to happen now. You got to give the man the right hat. Okay. His chances of succeeding in this at bat just went up exponentially.
He looks more confident. That's not even his.
That's the right size, though. It fits.
This Coughlin model. 2-2. Someone joked on Twitter maybe he should get the gum bucket. We've seen him wear that before.
The rally
I don't
bucket,
think that would
pass code.
No. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball into right. Montero to second. He will stop there.
You got to give the man the right hat. See, appropriate for rubbing. There he goes. You know, he's just realizing it's not his. He's like,
still
oh man,
not
if I'd known it wasn't my helmet, I probably wouldn't have gotten a hit. Good thing it fit. It's like Cinderella's glass slipper. That's a good pitch. A nice piece of hitting by Herrera.
Russell takes a strike. 0-1.
He has been in a prolonged funk. This would be a great time to break out.
Behind 0-2.
Yeah, that's the take of an uncertain hitter right there. Trying to guess with the pitcher and guessing wrong. Not ready to hit the heater.
We're tied. 2-2.
Thing of beauty off the bat of Addison Russell. Not really well struck, but very well placed.
Mike Matheny may want to look at it as Manus came all the way over to argue with Pat Hobert.
Mark Reynolds is incredulous. He thought it was a foul ball for sure. When he first, I mean, this starts way foul, but it's got hook spin, and I think it did bounce fair over the base. I mean, when he first hit it, after this ball first makes contact, it's clearly headed foul, but it's got some funky spin on it.
Manus got kicked out. Cardinals need a new pitcher. I don't know if Mike Matheny realizes it. I think now he's just realizes his pitcher got kicked out.
You gotta be kidding me. Oh man, he's going to get his money's worth now. Well, that's something you almost never see, a pitcher being ejected by a base umpire on a call on the bases, or in this instance, it's a fair foul call. Here comes Grichuk into the ball game. And the lefty Segrist out of the pen.
So the Cubs have tied at 2-2, and they have the go-ahead run. That's Jonathan Herrera. Not sure which helmet he's wearing, but he's at third. Russell is at first with only 1 out in the inning. So Segrist into the game after the ejection of Seth Manus, and we'll be back in a moment.
Don't see every day. Funky ground ball. The first bounce clearly foul, and it's got some kind of crazy side spin. That time it hits the chalk. Over the top of first base. Yeah.
Deemed to have gone over first base, which makes it fair. So Randall Grichuk now in playing left. He'll hit in the 7th spot. Kevin Segrist is the pitcher. So the Cardinals will have their cornermen in, double play depth up the middle against Dexter Fowler. Go ahead run is at third. Strike one.
Segrist, the plus arm, gets plenty of strikeouts. As we've said frequently today, Fowler better from this side of the plate.
Oh, by the way, that play not reviewable because it was in front of the first base umpire. These fair foul calls can only be challenged behind the umpire as Fowler squares and a throw to third. Herrera was not too far off the bag.
That's a tough play for the base runner in that situation. If the guy's going to drop a bunt down, you want to be in position to score a run. But when he takes the pitch, especially in the strike zone, you really have to scramble back.
Pitch. Late timeout calls by Angel Hernandez.
I think Yadier Molina might be asking, are you sure Fowler even asked for timeout?
Boy, I don't. I'm sure he did.
It's almost like Angel just acting like a hitter after the long hold out there by Segrist.
Back to the pitcher. They'll try to turn two. Bad throw! Herrera's in. Everybody's safe. I got to be honest, JD. I was a little surprised Segrist tried to turn two and didn't get that runner between third and home.
When the double play's in order, the play is to go to second base and try to get two. Most pitchers have a hard time committing to that play because there's a big run coming down the line from third base. It's the right decision, but horrible execution.
He just didn't look quite comfortable to make this play here.
To reach back across his body to field it, he never got into a good throwing position.
Yeah, I know that's the right play, but as we see so many times, pitchers just have a hard time putting that ball right where they need to. So, 3-2. Inning still alive, only one out.
Cardinals made a similar error in the first game. Kolovich, I believe it was, threw the ball away on a potential double play at second base.
1-1. This could go down in Cardinals Cubs history as the wrong helmet game.
But Anthony's hands are right in the strike zone. He's not yielding at all to the hard-throwing lefty.
Randy
Soft
choked.
tossing lefty, yeah. He delivered a home run.
Center field, Russell ready to tag. Caught, made, Borges. 4-2 on the sacrifice fly.
Guys like Rizzo, they live for these RBI opportunities, and here off the tough lefty with a couple of strikes. What we've seen him do so many times. Quiet lower body, uses the hands. Well off the plate. Gets it done. Interesting game. It all started with the duck on the field. I think that set the tone.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
The Herrera helmet mix up. Addison Russell with that funky ground ball. Manis getting ejected.
Miss the outside corner. Big 3 spot here in the 7th. Shot of Castro really trying to stretch out that right hamstring after tweaking it. An overly aggressive swing earlier in this inning. Let's see if he comes back out on defense.
They've already used Herrera to pinch hit, so you may as well just leave him in the game. Let Russell play short and Herrera second, if there's any question.
Cubs a 7-4 winner in the makeup game earlier today. Ended a 5-game skid against the Cardinals.
In his post-game press conference, Joe Maddon saying that he believes his group can play with anybody in the league, including the Cardinals. He said, but talk is cheap. You have to go out and prove it.
Good take. 3-2 now on Chris Bryant. And the Cub, Carlos Villanueva. There goes Fowler's swing and a miss to end the inning. Well, in hockey, you hear about puck luck. Tonight it's been A little jump luck. In the wrong bucket, but it worked.
To the 8th. This will be fun. Tomorrow we will be answering your questions during the broadcast. To participate, visit CSN Chicago's Facebook page. Submit any questions you have for us. And tune into tomorrow's game to hear our answers.
Travis Wood now could get a win. Herrera stays in. He is going to play second for Russell. So Castro will also remain in the game at short. Miguel Montero will catch after pinch hitting. Here's Hector Rondon.
Hector versus Hayward to get it started here in the 8th. 3-1, 2.10 the ERA. 37th time out there for Hector. Two-seamer and 95 for strike one. He's been mixing things up a little bit here in recent outings. Occasional changeup. There it is right there. Tried to overthrow the last couple.
Ball will be caught by Castro. Sounded like the end of the bat and maybe cracked it. Slug your way to the Home Run Derby crown and master the free award-winning game millions are playing. Download MLB.com Home Run Derby free on the App Store and Google Play. Right field, wind will push it to the seats. Cubs are looking for their 456th all-time doubleheader sweep. Post-game show will have details on the first 455. Stay with us. Molina swings and misses. 2 outs. And a special 7-hour post-game show.
And then in June of 1937. Now, a great majority of doubleheaders are split.
Yeah, that's certainly the case in Cubs history. Nice job, Hector Rondon. He got behind Hayward. Ended up retiring him. Molina struck out. Reynolds tapped to the mound. Back here on CSN tomorrow night, Cardinals and the Cubs to wrap up this series. Then an off day Thursday. Sox come in for the weekend.
Have pitching matchups yet? Should be able to guess line. We're anticipating Lester Sale.
The former Cub, Carlos Villanueva.
Yeah, he's a crafty right-hander. He's done a very nice job for the Cardinals this year, pitching to a 1.65 ERA. Those rare guys that comes out of the bullpen with a 4-pitch mix and the ability to locate.
Yeah, it looks like Rodon, Sale, Quintana for the White Sox. Hendricks, Lester, and Arrieta,
right? Yeah,
the Cubs. Yep.
Would be good stuff. Ballpark would be jammed. Would be a lot of energy. I look forward to that series. And a weird day for Soler. He hasn't had the results he wanted, but he's had really good at bats. Easier to process for a veteran guy than a young guy.
You hear the word process so much, you know, to do the right thing. The ball's hard to worry about. Well, that's what's supposed to happen. Soler will stop at second with a double. First hit of the doubleheader. Although he's hit a bunch of balls that hard for outs.
I would argue he's probably had the best at bats of anybody in the Cubs team in these 2 ball games. Finally, find some open real estate out there. Leadoff double in the 8th as the Cubs push for more. Stayed back nicely on that slide ball from Villanueva. He was contemplating 3. The fans wanted him to push for 3, but with nobody out, the prudent play is to settle in at second base.
Strike to Coughlin.
Shout out to the Griffin family watching back in Oswego, New York. They're huge Cub fans.
Ball, 1 strike. That's Caesar with a leadoff home run for Iowa. 8-3 win over New Orleans. Bounce toward right, but it'll be cut off by Cosma. That'll send Soler to third. He's 90 feet away. Only 1 out.
Yeah, good at bat there by Coughlin. Nothing else. Advance that man to third base this late in the ball game. You're just trying to tack on here. Coughlin effective, and that makes Castro's job that much easier. The Cardinals will pull the infield in.
Kyle Schwarber had a homer and 2 doubles tonight for Iowa. There's Manny Alcantara, stole a base, had 3 hits.
See some of these publications out with their most recent prospect rankings. I want to say it was Baseball America I was looking at, had Kyle Schwarber number 6, I believe, in all of baseball, and Gleyber Torres top 50, Billy McKinney as well.
Look at the run in and maybe more. Borges on the move, makes a running catch. Soler will score. Sac fly. Starlin Castro. 5-2.
That's good execution there. Soler with the leadoff double. Coughlin gets him over. Castro gets him in like Rizzo last inning. The sac fly. Watch how he stays through this one. Very nice. 5 from the hitting coach John Maley. That a baby.
And evens it up at 1 apiece.
Jason Mott finished the first game of the doubleheader. It was not a save. He didn't start the 9th. Neil Ramirez got 1 out, allowed a couple of runs. Mott came in and got the final 2 outs. He's getting ready for the 9th in the Cubs bullpen.
Brett Laurie with a game-winning homer for the A's in the 10th tonight. A 4-3 victory at Yankee Stadium. A rare 1-run win, right?
For Oakland, yeah.
The A's now in 1-run games. They're 7-21 after a win in that spot. Montero has walked both times up. key question now for Jonathan Herrera. What helmet is he wearing? Should we play guess the helmet?
I would have been tempted to stay with Chris Coughlin after his last at bat.
They started with Mike Baxter's, clearly too small, then ended up with Coughlin's. It looked like it fit, and then he got to first, and he went, who's number 8? It would be better if they put his decal on Baxter's helmet. So, no, this is yours. You got a big head. Cubs add an insurance run, 5-2 to the ninth. For what ended up being a game-winning sacrifice fly, and here tonight, Castro and Rizzo getting the job done.
Yeah, they've had a lot of good at-bats here, good plate appearances. You saw Rizzo spread out, use the hands with 2 strikes, and then Castro staying through that ball, getting it airborne to drive in and run with a sac fly of his own. We saw Taylor Teagarden early in the game punch that base hit to right to cash in the Castro leadoff double in the 5th. So a lot of good work by the Cub hitters here tonight, playing add-on late. And that provides this save opportunity for Jason Mott.
Randall Grichuk came in to play left and immediately singles to start this 9th inning. Came in the 7th for defense. The leadoff man is aboard. And you're right. It is a save spot. 3 outs to go for Mott, who got the final 2 outs of game 1 earlier today with a 3-run lead, therefore did not qualify for a save. Borges fouls out of play.
Cardinal hitters know they're going to see a lot of hard stuff from Mott. He's essentially a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball, cutter.
Got swept in St. Louis a couple of weekends ago. Since then, they have won 6 of 8. Trying to make it 7 of 9 in a doubleheader sweep today.
Don't know what the weather conditions are supposed to be like tomorrow night, but you anticipate a low-run game with Hamill and Walker pitching.
Not as cool, but not hot. Like, mid to upper 60s tomorrow night with an east wind. Center field, Fowler in. Base hit. Tying run will come to the plate with nobody out. First two have reached on singles.
It's a tough ball to read, that line drive, the semi-line drive directly at you. A little bit of a hesitation for Fowler, but you see that a lot from the center fielder. Take just a beat to read it before making the break.
Pete Kozma singled in the 7th, came in the 6th. Tony Cruz is on deck in the pitcher's spot. Inside, ball 1.
Kozma with the base hit back in the 7th. Not had a lot of at bats. A $161. All of his hits have been singles.
33-year-old Mott. And a fly ball to right. Soler's back on it. And he makes the catch. Runners will hold. 1 out. Looks like Colton Wong, they're just trying to stay away from him tonight.
Just thinking the same thing.
You know, he's the only other guy available on the bench, and you'd think if he were close to 100%, he would have gotten a bat here in this spot. And Wong injured his head in a diving catch in game 1. No concussion, but had a bit of a headache, so I stayed away from using him here in game 2. One and two.
After Cruz, it'll be Carpenter and then Peralta.
Yeah, this is a key guy to get. With Carpenter and Peralta looming. Ground ball into left, base hit. Grichuk scores 5-3. Still only 1 out, and here comes Carpenter.
Two-seam fastball running in on Cruz, and he's able to get it under the glove of Chris Bryant, who made a spectacular play on a similar ball earlier in the ball game. Spazio is going to come out and have a little chat with Mott.
Clayton Richard, the left-hander, is up.
With an eye towards the confrontation with Jason Hayward. Carpenter has not been at his best of late. But his A game is about as good as anybody in the league. His plate discipline, his approach, the ability to hit line drives all over the field. 1 out of 3 with a walk tonight.
Here we go. Popped him up. Bryant and Castro, and it'll be Chris Bryant, foul territory for out number 2.
Low stress confrontation with Carpenter as he attacks that first pitch fastball.
Not out of it yet. Peralta, probably their MVP, right? First half, position player wise. Been incredibly consistent. Fans on their feet. Broken bat, ground ball to the shortstop, Castro. Cubs win! Cubs sweep!
The Cardinals made a little noise here in the 9th. But Carpenter goes down on the first pitch, as does Peralta. Hey, boy, Chris Pazio had a nice night today. Every time he came to the mound, something good happened. Ott fired up, getting the save against his former club.
So the Cubs win both games of the split doubleheader, and a chance now to take 3 of 4 if they can win tomorrow night. A little bit of a nail biter there in the 9th, but Mott gets the save.
Cardinals open the door with a critical throwing error by Segras. Cubs took full advantage. Nice day at the ballpark. Long day, but always feels good when you pick up a couple W's. Yeah, go ahead, play a little air guitar out there. Why not?
So the Cubs now 46 and 37. 9 games over 500. As they win 2.
Their high water mark of the year.
Ernie used to say, let's play 2. How about let's win 2? Send it down to Kelly Crow.
All right, thanks a lot. Well, Addison, it's kind of been a struggle for you lately at the plate, but how rejuvenating to come through in that fashion in the 7th.
It was awesome. You know, he got up on me early, 2 strikes, you know, just right away, and then I just had to battle from there.
What did you see? Describe what you saw as that came off your bat and then headed down the first baseline.
Well, first I thought it was foul, but you know, it took a weird spin and hopped right over the bag, you know, and the umpire called it fair, so you know, we scored a run off it.
Is it magic?
I think so.
Well, listen, you kind of flipped the scripts on the Cardinals tonight. They don't make too many mistakes, but the fact that you guys were able to capitalize on them and take both of these games today, how big is that?
It's huge. It's huge. You know, in the past, whenever we played them, usually it was kind of us, you know, just messed up errors, you know, and you know, the game, you know, you just got to play the game, and you know, it was a great win.
Congratulations, Addison. Enjoy this one.
Thank you.
There you go. Addison Russell coming through with a big hit tonight to tie things up, guys.
Thanks, Kelly. And our Vintage Beverage Depot toast of the game, Dallas Beeler gave his team a chance to win tonight. In fact, both runs scored after he had left the game.
Yeah, solid stuff from Beeler. Had the strikeout pitch working early. Ended up striking out 6 in 5+ innings of work. Good curveball there to get Mark Reynolds. Good sinking action to finish off Borges. And sinker again to get Reynolds. So solid stuff from Dallas Beeler tonight. 2 runs charged to him, but 5 very solid innings of work.
So that will wrap up our coverage tonight. The final in Game 1, 7-4 Cubs. Game 2, 5-3 Cubs. For JD and our entire crew here at Wrigley Field, this is Len Casper inviting you to stay tuned for Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs post-game live. The Cubs take the twin bill. Quack, quack.